Hello everybody, this is White Wolf, and we're going to be talking about sacrifices in the spiritual awakening. What does it mean to get rid of all the things in your life that are costing you, getting rid of toxic patterns, getting rid of toxic people, and to also surround yourself with wealth, with consciousness, with abundance, with joy and love and prosperity, and all the things that speak to your divinity, that speak to who you are, that speak to the essence of source energy that you're channeling in this embodiment of source energy, because sacrifice is everything. Sometimes the people that we see on a normal day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis are not going to be the people that we always see for the rest of our lives. And sometimes we have friends that try to hold us down, and sometimes we have relationships that try to hold us down, and sometimes we have this job that we've been working at so long, and it's time for a new job, it's time for a new setting, it's time for something new to come into our life. So that's where sacrifice comes in. So we're sacrificing all of the things that were costing us, that were putting limitations on us, and also we're not allowing us to step outside of our comfort zone. And also, being in your comfort zone can also put you in the panic zone, to where you're not going to step into the expanded zone of consciousness. The expanded zone is steady, is consistent, there's repetition, there's reciprocation, there's flow, there's fluidity in that. So when we have sacrifice within our spiritual journey, it's like if you put yourself down a lot, if you're very pessimistic towards yourself, then you allow yourself to actually love yourself, to give yourself self-care, to work on how you're putting yourself down. And also, it's like if you want more worthiness, you have to use word switches, to where you're using that one word and a phrase in a sentence, but it's also the words that you have on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis. The power of your words, the power of your speech, the power of your spiritual vocabulary determines your wealth, your health, your well-being, and the way that you go about life. So a lot of the things I had to sacrifice on the spiritual journey was friends, was family, was a job that I wasn't really growing and expanding and transforming to who I was. I suppressed a lot of things. I was very pessimistic towards myself, very negative towards myself. So a lot of the times we have to sacrifice that, and we have to be in our own realm of energy. We have to be in our own source of creation. We have to be in our own spiritual path. This is the spiritual journey. So you surround yourself with like-minded consciousnesses, like energy. You have an inseparability when you have this interconnectedness, because you're finally connecting in with your soul tree, but also your soul family. And you're connecting into that radio frequency of consciousness. You're being plugged into the divinity that a lot of people are tapping into on this earth plane, to where they're awakening and coming into enlightenment, and knowing that they're trying to disassociate from their thoughts, disassociate why their emotions are out to get them, or feeling like you're against yourself, or feeling like that you're a victim instead of a victor. So, and it's getting rid of that victim mentality. It's getting rid of the way that you carry yourself, the way that you grow, the way that you expand, and also the way that you channel your divinity. And also the way that you speak, the way that you dress, the way that your personality is. Everything has to really change. And also there's a maturation of the soul whenever we have sacrifice during the spiritual awakening. So there's a lot of things that we have to let go of. There's a lot of things that we have to forgive. And there's a lot of things that we have to integrate and come into balance and ground ourselves into deep middle Mother Gaia Earth. So we're allowing ourselves to be in sync with who we are, so that there's a way to have synchronicities, a way that there's having manifestations within our life, but also a way that we're projecting, a way that we're channeling that divinity and putting it out there and sending those vibrations out. And also being able to emit those vibrations and being able to manifest and intend while you're in that quiet, still space of meditation and samadhi and openness, to where you're not focused on your nothingness, but you're focused on how you can be powerful, how you can be a blessing to the world, how you can use your words of wisdom to release and send out those heart-healing activations, and being of that essence of that Kundalini energy, to be the energy of release for this human race. So a lot of the times we feel like in life, we have to sacrifice who we really are. We have to suppress our desires. We have to suppress our ideas, suppress our creation. We have to limit ourselves and put ourselves into a box or a category or a societal norm, which that is all complete horseshit. Don't put yourself in a box. Rise up, step on a lot of toes, make your own rules, make your own life, and sacrifice all the things that are holding you back. And that's what's powerful and empowering when you do that, because you're not allowing your vibration to be muddled with, because you're not carrying the distortion. And you're welcome, by the way. I want you guys to know that was my opening for this live. Feel free to book private sessions with me for 1 hour for $70. And also go to my YouTube channel, White Wolf the Oracle, Instagram, whitewolf4741, and BitChute, whitewolftheoracle23_@. So when we sacrifice, what we're doing is that we're using the law of attraction. By subtracting things out of our life and adding in, it generates this different recalibration of energy, but also this domino effect to where it's generating different causes and generating different effects. So there's a balancing of the scales. So the scales have been imbalanced with our finances, with the way that we watch TV, with the way that we dress. There's always been an imbalance, but now the scales are being put back into balance, and there's actually a masculine and a feminine side to the way that we're creating, the way that we're intending, projecting, and allowing. So sacrifice is allowing the good stuff in your life, allowing the blessings in your life, allowing yourself to receive, and allowing yourself to listen, and allowing yourself to learn, and also be a teacher, and to be skilled, and not really focusing on the training or anything like that. It doesn't matter how well trained you are. If you can't think for yourself, if you can't act for yourself, if you can't take a chance on something, if you're not willing to be spontaneous, if you're not willing to follow your desires, then everything that I'm saying is very pointless. So when we're sacrificing being unworthy. We're sacrificing all of our childhood trauma. We're sacrificing it all to not be an image, to not be a body, to not be a distorted human being, and also not to be a part of this subject to object relationship that we have. And then we don't have a victim state of consciousness. So when we're that Kundalini energy, we're the energy of release, we're the energy of letting go, and we're the energy of allowance. And you allow yourself to integrate more and deeper and in an accentuation of energy. So you allow yourself to be that source of energy. You allow yourself to be that source of calibration. And you allow yourself to have a clean slate when you sacrifice something out of your life. You allow yourself to have a reboot. You allow yourself to have a do-over, redemption. You get to start this thing all over again. It's as if you're watching the movie The Matrix, and you're like Neo and you're going through the Matrix once again. Because you're trying to create your own Matrix. But just think of it as you're going through it once again. So as you're going through it once again, you don't have to experience it the same way that you once did. That's what the beautiful thing is about sacrifice on the spiritual journey. When you sacrifice your thoughts, your emotions, and you sacrifice the very fact that you think that you're a physical body and not a non-physical essence, when you sacrifice your lies, your image, your ego, everything that does not make you the divine, when you sacrifice all of that, you allow yourself to encompass and encapsulate that energy of pure awareness of consciousness. You allow yourself to be conscious in all ways. You allow yourself to choose your own emotions, but you also allow yourself to bilocate. You allow yourself to use your telepathy to call it in without having to say a single word. So you allow yourself to think for yourself, to intend for yourself, and to not be manipulated. But you allow yourself to manipulate energy itself as the illusionist. So you can generate your own optical illusion within this earth plane to where you're awakening ever-going sacrifice. So it's like you could be sacrificing having a fear of going live. Maybe there's some of you who are watching that want to go live. You just don't know how to do it. You just don't know how to go about it. You just don't know when to do it. But sometimes allowing yourself to just jump off of the cliff and dive into the water and see that it's not that cold. And it's just like going into something, not knowing how it's going to happen, not knowing all the details, not having to really know what's going on fully and understanding it fully, because you're not getting muddled into the details. You're not allowing the details to dictate your life. You're not allowing the circumstance to dictate your life. And you're also being the moment itself. You're becoming the moment. You're showing up to your life as if you're meant to be there, but you're being the essence of every single moment and experience and the energy that is behind it. Someone asked me, do I support Andrew Tate? I don't think he's a bad person. I think Andrew is a master of his own sin. I think he's a master in his own energetic field. And that's what the divine wants me to say about that. So he has truth. He has love. And I think he's helping humans in the way that he's supposed to help humans, like many other light workers. So that's why there is sacrifice, because there will be people that will look at you and think that you're a bad person. They will think that you're a fraud. They will think that you're a charlatan. They will think all of these things, but they really don't know what's underneath the surface of who you really are. They only have a frame of what you are, but they don't have the whole picture, because you have the vision and you allow yourself to be aligned to the vision until the vision becomes everything that you are, and you allow yourself to scope out and evaluate, knowing yourself in all ways at all times, and being very present with the very fact that you're seeking out the miracles, but you're setting the miracle into motion. You're setting the manifestation into motion. Every time that you sacrifice something more, you're adding something more. You're assuming something, but it's more of an aligned assumption. Because there is a law of assumption, there is a law of subtraction, there is a law of attraction. We are magnetic in our own way. So if you start assuming in a more aligned way, in a more positive way, you will start getting what you want, because you know that it is done for you. You know everything is rigged for you. You know that everything is going to fall into place. It's just sending out that signal. So there's a lot of humans on this earth plane that some people don't like, but they are doing the work that the divine has laid out for them. Because there is no good or bad, there is no right or wrong. And if we continue to perpetuate agreeing to disagreeing, then we're only being opinionated. And we're only coming from a perspective instead of the perspective of all things that there is, the great beyond. So we have to have full embodiment and acceptance beyond our own personal biases. When we leave out all the bias, when we leave out questioning ourselves, when we're allowing ourselves to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves every single day, we allow ourselves to be steady, consistent, have repetition in the way that we feel and the way that we go about life. So when you sacrifice more and more and more every single day, more and more every single day, you allow yourself to shift everything into the prophetic nature of reality. You're the shift. You're the changing of the weather. You have to feel that you have the power within yourself. Everything that you've ever wanted is inside of you. But you have to sacrifice the belief that it is not. So you have to sacrifice those limiting beliefs. You have to sacrifice how you feel about yourself. If you're against yourself, knowing that personal relationships and agreements are just that. And also, when it comes right down to it, when it comes to the brass tacks of spirituality, you have to use it as a tool and to give yourself a blank slate, to give yourself a permission slip to start again, to begin again. That every day that you're beginning again and again and again, and then you have another angle to go about it. So I had to let go of an English golden retriever that I had for 4 or 5 months. And for 3 days, I was very, very upset about it. It gave me a lot of healing, but it allowed me to see that I had to have something for a little bit. And then God's source energy took it out of my life so that that dog would go to another group and family. Sometimes we have certain situations where that happens. And it's not always pleasant, and it's not always feels like it's gracious, but once you get to the other side of it, it's very gracious, it's very maturing, it's very elevating, and it's very freeing that you had to experience that. Because if we don't learn how to do that, and it's like I had a girlfriend in middle school, and it was like my very first girlfriend. We really liked each other a lot. She wanted to marry me, which I didn't necessarily want that, but it was like the middle school, like, love at first sight. And when she moved away, it felt like the worst thing on the planet. It felt like the worst thing ever. And now I look back on it and I find it really fucking silly, because it wasn't the worst thing ever. She got to live out her experience, I got to live out my experience, and we can't hold on to things and feel like we own them and feel like we have an attachment towards them, because that doesn't allow us to be a free, non-dual awareness. It doesn't allow us to be independent of what we are, of who we are, that we are our own energy, that we are our own source of energy, and that people, places, and things are just reflections, and you allow them to come and go, just as your thoughts, just as your limiting beliefs, just as the way that you're not manifesting good enough. And trust me, I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about anybody watching this. I'm talking about myself. So when I'm talking to myself when I go live, I'm talking to myself. I had a psychic a long time ago say that you're always really speaking to yourself when you do your live. So every time that you do something like this, you're reflecting something back to yourself and you're putting something out there, and then you might have times of healing and integrating, and times where you get circumstances and experiences, you're like, oh, I'm being tested because of my message. But it's not like mom and dad slapping your wrists. It's not mom and dad getting angry with you. The divine doesn't do that. The divine does it in a way to where it's reflected to you, but it's not in a negative sense. It's always for your well-being. It's always for the love that you're accumulating, the things that you're going to embark on, the journey itself, the journey that multiplies into different numbers of journeys. So that's multiplicity. So every time that we are activated or transformed or healed in some sort of way, that's what multiplicity is, because there's a series of things going on. Like getting a new guide, or getting past a past lifetime, or feeling like you don't have to be against yourself. So there's a series of things that happens, and it goes up to your counsel, it goes up to your guides, it goes up to your higher self. And it gives you wisdom and understanding and love and prosperity always. It's always forgiving. It's always gracious. And that's why the spiritual journey is the most rewarding at the end of the day. Because you get to live another life. You get a brand new life. You get a brand new way. And you get a brand new day. And who doesn't love that? So And no, I don't do religion. I'm not afraid to say that I help people with enlightenment. I help people with psychic readings, healings, activations, and stuff. You guys can book private sessions with me, $70 for an hour. And also you can find me on YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle, Instagram, whitewolf4741, and BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23_@. We're going to be doing some healing energy tonight. So if you would like some healing energy, I will conduct that. I'll be doing Stupa Mudra energy. It's what the Buddhists use. It's moving your hands around, rubbing your fingertips, holding your hands like that. So there will be healing energy as well. I'm going to check in with my guides if they want me to say anything else on this live feed. So, and also let me know if the internet connection is good. So thank you guys for staying on here and being a part of this live feed. What I really want to get to the heart of is that sacrificing will allow you to be spontaneous. It'll allow you to have conviction in your faith. It'll allow you to stay steady and consistent with how you go about things, with how you progress, and also to have the confidence and the stillness and the readiness and the aliveness and the excitement without having to generate the excitement itself. Because you just know that it's already a known fact that I need to be of that loving nature. I need to be of that loving source of energy, that I need to carry that out and carry that with me wherever I go. Because then I will be able to change lives as I'm walking through the store. I will be that beacon of light. I will carry the torch for the next generation. I will be of that source of love because I'm willing to sacrifice things that are continuously holding me back and putting me in a box. That's when you get fed up, that's when you get motivated, and that's when you just absolutely get tired at being at one point. You just get tired of it and you're like, fuck this, I want to go to the next level. I want to go to the next stage. I want to have all the things that make me feel loved and whole and wonderful. So we're going to be doing some healing energy. This is what the Buddhists use as Stupa Mudra energy. So if you've never seen Stupa Mudra energy, you can learn how to do a healing modality. I usually do meditations, but tonight we're going to do healing energy. So without further ado, this is White Wolf. Allow yourself to take a deep breath, focus on an object. You can lay down, you can dance, you can do whatever you want. Don't feel like you have to do what you're being told to do. Be free in your essence. So we're going to do Stupa Mudra energy. This is what the Buddhists use. You can wave your hands around. You can rub your fingertips. You can hold this position here. So receive this healing energy and also accept this healing energy, as we're going to be having a series of light codes being sent out to you to reprogram your DNA. So receive this healing energy, breathe this healing energy. God bless you all, and namaste. We're going to tap into the whale's energy. This is a 10th dimensional frequency. It is also an energy of prosperity. So tap into that 10th dimensional frequency And there's a bionic blue light that's going through the causal chakra. And we have a violet flame that is going to give us a heart activation from the 9th dimension as well. So we're tapping into 9th dimensional frequencies and 10th dimensional frequencies. So receive a heart activation as well. Also, we're going to have Kundalini energy come through. And it's going to generate more of a release. And there's also gold tablets that have scriptures being written on them. It's not a specific scripture, but it's for some of you. There's gold tablets and it has a different language. I'm hearing some is Latin, some is Hebrew. Also, put everything that you don't want in a ball of energy, your worries, your patterns, your lies, your ego, whatever it may be, or wanting to open up your chakras, or just wanting to have a good day. Put everything in that ball of energy and send it back to the sun. And allow it to be cleared away from you. Archangel Raphael is going to help us with a green ray of healing around our feet. It's going to put green ray of healing around our body. So accept this green ray of healing from Archangel Raphael. And also his green emerald dragons. For cosmic abundance, for clearing, just say clear. We're going to assert our vibration, knowing that sacrifice allows us to be connected with the universe, with our guides, with our higher self, the galactic beings, other prophets. You have to feel limitless. You have to feel timeless. Know that you're in the absence of time and that you're able to slow time down and bend reality to the way that you want it to be as the master of illusion. We're going to initiate psychic protection. You can have a 5-layer protection grid over your home at all times, north, east, south, and west. 1,000 angels, 1,000 dragons, 1,000 fairies, prophets, all around you for protection. We're also going to have Ra and Merlin help us with reception, with listening, with remembering who we are, and using the power of word switching. By saying one word, your life can be changed. Abundance, wealth, love, trust, faith, ecstasy, bliss. The list goes on and on. Choose a specific phrase, a sentence, a quote. Declare it, affirm it, confirm it, and it is done for you. Everyone take one last deep breath. And when I snap my fingers, you'll come back to. You'll have a greater sense of clarity. You will know who you are. And you'll become the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. And so it is. So thank you guys for coming on to this live. Thank you for being a part of it. I appreciate you all. And also you can book private sessions any given time. You can book private sessions $70 for 1 hour for psychic readings, healings, activation. Pick a time, date, and day. And also YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle, BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23_@symbol, and Instagram, White Wolf 4741. Thank you for receiving this healing energy. And also thank you all for being a part of this live. And also, I'm also going to be doing a live soon about word switching. And I talked a little bit about it on this live, but I might do a whole entire live that's about word switching. So It's using like one word, one phrase, one sentence, one affirmation, a declaration, and using the power of your words. So like you're saying clear, you want to clear energy. Power, you want to empower yourself. Unity, you want to come together. Transformation, you want more manifestation and abundance in your life. There's power within words of wisdom, within truth, and within projection. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this live. Yeah, I think that's it. So book private sessions and for $70 for psychic readings, healings, activations, and also go to my other channels that I just talked about there. And God bless and namaste. Thank you all for being a part of this live.